All right. Today we're going to talk about rational numbers. Now, a rational number is basically a fraction. Okay? A rational number is a number written in the form A over B. Okay? And that's it. B cannot equal 0. Okay, so write that down. A rational number is written in the form A over B where B does not equal 0. Okay? And then the second, that's the first rule of a rational number. The second rule is A and B must be integers.
What was the first one? How do you say it?
B does not equal 0. B cannot be 0. So your rational number is a number in the form A over B where B is not 0 because you can't divide by 0. You hear me? You can't split something into nothing. Does that make sense?
Yes.
Division would be like if I have a pie, okay? That's one pie, right?
Yes.
Well, to divide it would be to split it up in pieces, right?
Right.
That's dividing by 4 because I split it in 4 pieces. Well, I can't take a pie and divide it into nothing. I can't take something and divide it into nothing. Does that make sense? Kind of?
Yes.
Just as long as you know you cannot divide by 0, you'll be in good shape. You hear me?
Yes.
Alright? So say it. You can't divide by 0. Ready? That was pitiful. Come on, ready?
You cannot divide by 0.
Again.
You cannot divide by 0.
Okay? Now, do y'all know what a rational number is?
A ratio.
No, a rational number is any number, negative or positive,
Okay.
that's not a decimal. Any number, negative or positive, that's not a decimal. What is that?
A rational number.
An integer. An integer is any number that's negative or positive, that's not a decimal. So what's an integer?
A decimal, or it got to be a negative or positive integer.
That's not a decimal. So is negative 4 an integer?
Yes.
Is negative 6 an integer?
Yes.
Is 7 an integer?
Yes.
Yeah, negative or positive.
Yes, that's an integer.
Is 14 an integer?
Yes.
Is 36 an integer?
Yes.
Is negative 420 an integer?
Yes.
Is 2.3 an integer?
No.
No. Okay? So for it to be a rational number, it has to be 4 over negative 2. Something like that. See, this is an integer, this is an integer. A over B. So that's just a fraction, isn't it? Okay? What about 2.3 over 7? Is that a rational number?
No.
No. Why?
Because a decimal number.
Because there's a decimal at the top. JP, wake up. You understand? Okay? Now, so let me show you some examples of rational numbers. Okay? I'm going to show you some examples. I want you to write down these examples of rational numbers. 2 over 3. 7 over 11. 2.3. That's a rational number. Now, if it was over 4, it wouldn't be. 9 over 13. All rational numbers. Okay? Rational numbers.
Can the top be bigger than the bottom?
It doesn't matter. What about the number 6? Is that a rational number?
Yes.
Why?
Because it's an integer. It's a positive integer.
But it says it has to be A over B.
Oh, so it's not.
Yeah, it is, because what can I put underneath
One.
all the time? 1. So all those are rational numbers. Now let me show you some stuff that's not. 6 is not. Unless I do what?
Put it over 1.
Now it is.
What about 2.3?
Okay? 2.3 is. In other words, every number is rational. Did you hear me?
Yes.
every number just about is rational. Okay? Now, what's not rational? 6 over 0. That's not rational. Why?
Because that's zero.
Because you're dividing by 0. 9 over 0. Not rational. Yes, because 2.03 can be written as a fraction, can it?
Yes.
Okay. Now we're going to talk about whole numbers and integers. We've already kind of talked about integers. A whole number is a number from 0 all the way to infinity. This sign means infinity. Now, do y'all know what infinity means? Forever. So if you tell me a big number, I can tell you a bigger number. Okay? You tell me a huge number, 1 million, I can say 1,000,001. You tell me 1 billion, I can say 1,000,001. Infinity plus 1. You see that? So no matter how big a number you tell me, I can tell you a bigger number. Numbers go forever. Okay? So a whole number is one that goes from 0 to infinity. In other words, it's positive. So a whole number is any positive number. Okay? Any positive number. Any positive number is a what? A whole number. Any positive number is a whole number. Now, put in parentheses, as long as it is not a what? A decimal. If it's a decimal, then it's not a whole number, it's a what kind of number? Rational. Okay? So now let's do some examining.
Yes.
30.
Yes.
400.
Yes.
4 million.
Yes.
All whole numbers. Okay? Now let's do some examples of not whole. Okay? One of the examples of not whole number, -1. Why is it not whole?
Because it got to be a positive.
Because it's negative. -30, not whole. Now see, 30 is whole. Why is it whole?
Because it's positive.
Why is -30 not whole?
It's negative.
Okay? -6 is not. -7 is not. Word? Tell it. Can I email it to him? I don't know what it is yet. Do you understand? Okay? Now the second thing we're going to have to talk about is an integer. Okay? So this was whole number. Now an integer is any number, negative or positive, as long as it's whole. Okay? So, from negative infinity all the way to infinity, any number, as long as it's whole, not a decimal. Okay?
Did you say negative?
Come in.
Negative 0?
Not, yes. The what? Oh, right? It's not a piece. What about -2.5? No. Why is it not an
It's a
integer?
decimal.
Because there's a decimal. Okay, so we're going to say not, and we're going to say yes. This is. This is, this isn't. So y'all understand the difference between a whole number, an integer, and a rational number? The number, this, the whole thing. Do you understand the difference?
Yes.
Now in your homework, they're just going to list numbers and say, is this whole? Is this whole? Is this rational? Is this an integer? Okay? Now, something can be an integer and whole. Okay?
0.
No, not 0.
2.
So now look, I'm going to give you examples of integers right here. Okay? I want you to write them down. These are going to be examples of integers. 2, 3, -2, -3, 8, 11, 400, all those are integers. Okay? Now I'm going to give you some examples of not integers. Okay? 2.3. 6 over 11. 14.1. Oh, you want to see an example of an integer that they're going to get you in the book? 14.0, that's an integer. Why? Because 14.0 is the same thing as just 14, isn't it?
Yeah.
Okay, so it is an integer. So there's some examples of integers, not integers.
Paper?
No. Yes.
What is this? It says name all sets of numbers for which each number belongs. You have three choices: rational, integer, whole number.
Right.
Rational.
This is rational. Is it anything else? No, just rational. What about 19?
Oh.
It's a whole number and a
Integer.
good. What about 1 over 4?
Rational.
Rational only. What about negative 8 over 8?
Right.
Well, now hold on. Reduce it. Negative 8 over 8 is the same thing as negative 1. So now what is it?
And whole number.
No, it's not whole because it's negative.
Oh, integer.
It's an integer. Okay, you got to reduce before you give your answer. 4 and 3/8.
Rational.
Rational. Negative 3. Integer.